Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Faris bin Muhammad alias Tiu. I will present about my research which is internet addiction among university student during COVID-19 lockdown. Case study of FSPPP UiTM Seremban. The research background of my research is the internet has gained extremely high popularity from year to year after its development, which are a very great impact among its users. The phenomenon of reckless use of the internet by young people has taken enormous dimension and has created problems for the mental and social functioning, and it leads them to addiction. The student may not realize that they have been making more than optimal use of the internet, which has led to internet addiction during lockdown. Their academic performance will falter when they are addicted to internet use due to spend long time on it. The problem segment of research is during COVID-19 lockdown, there are several ways that the internet use become abuse and harmful to the student, which are known as internet addiction. Due to Movement Control Order (MCO), all the educational institutions use online learning as the medium to give learning to their students. The student will always expose internet addiction as they use the internet to obtain their knowledge via their technology such as smartphone and laptop. Internet addiction is very dangerous to the student if not stopped immediately, which will affect their academic performance other than their mental and physical health. This research aims to identify the predictors that may contribute to the internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. Next is my research question, which is firstly, what is the relationship between the type of internet activity and internet addiction among students during COVID-19? Secondly, what is the relationship between the pleasure maximization and internet addiction among students during COVID-19? Thirdly, what is the relationship between personality trait and internet addiction among students during COVID-19? And last, what is the most significant factor associated with internet addiction among students during COVID-19? For research objective is firstly to identify the relationship between the type of internet activity and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. Secondly, to identify the relationship between pleasure maximization and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. Thirdly, to know the relationship between personality trait and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. And last, to identify the most significant factor associated with internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. This is a conceptual framework of my research, which is independent variable and dependent variable. For independent variable is type of internet activity, pleasure maximization and personal trait, while dependent variable is internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. For hypothesis development, firstly is type of internet activity. Type of internet activity is internet activity that can describe as the use of internet for getting concept information, for sending or receiving email, for performing internet banking or accessing other financial service, for dealing with the government organization, for providing customer service, and for delivering product online. For hypothesis is HO, there is no any relationship between the type of internet activity and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. H1, there is a relationship between the type of internet activity and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. Secondly is pleasure maximization. Pleasure maximization is the satisfaction of internet use by the student, including the communication, interaction, and information that seek from using the internet. They will get more satisfaction when they use more the internet. As the result, they may become addicted when they are experiencing harmful effect of its uses and not expect this symptom as a severe problem for them. For PTC is HO, there is no any relationship between pleasure maximization and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. H1, there is relationship between pleasure maximization and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. Lastly is personality trait. Personality trait is the enduring emotional, interpersonal, experiential, attitudinal, and motivational style that explain individual behavior in different situations. Tan and Yan, 2012. In this study, the personality trait can define as shyness, boredom, low self-esteem, neurosis, and loneliness of the respondent, who is the student that depend on internet uses during lockdown of COVID-19. So the hypothesis is HO, there is no any relationship between personality trait and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. H1, there is relationship between personality trait and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. Next is research methodology. In research design, I use quantitative method used. In unit of analysis is the student at the University Technology Mara UiTM Seremban campus. In sample size is 150 respondents, which is student from University Technology Mara UiTM Seremban campus. In data analysis, I use Pearson correlation analysis and multiply regression analysis. In sampling technique, I use stratified sampling and systematic sampling. In data collection, there are 5 parts, which is Part A, demographic profile. Part B, internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. Part C, type of internet activity. Part D, pleasure maximization. And Part E, personality trait. And lastly, in data measurement, I use questionnaire. Next is finding in demographic profile. For gender, majority is female, which is 53.3%. For age, majority is 21 to 23 years old, which is 85.3%. For year of study, majority is final year, which is 52%. For a current academic undertaking, majority is bachelor degree, which is 86.7%. For current CGPA, majority is 3 until 3.49, which is 79.3%. For place of residence, majority student in semi-urban, which is 47.3%. For how do you connect to the internet, majority the student use mobile data, which is 82.7%. For purpose of using the internet, majority use for academic purpose, which is 91.3%. And last, for hours spent online per day, majority the students spend 3 hours and more, which is 94%. Next is main finding. The first objective is to identify the relationship between the type of internet activity and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. I use Pearson correlation for analysis. The result R value is negative 0.040 and P value is 0.9626. So HO is accepted, saying there is no any relationship between the type of internet activity and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. Second objective is to identify the relationship between pleasure maximization and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. The result of Pearson correlation is R value is 0.475 and P value is 0.001, below 0.05. So H2 is accepted, sign there is relationship between pleasure maximization and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. The objective is to know the relationship between personality trait and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. The result of Pearson correlation is R value is 0.144 and P value is 0.078. So HO is accepted, since there is no any relationship between personality trait and internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. For the last objective is to identify the most significant factor associated with internet addiction among students during lockdown of COVID-19. I use multiply regression for analysis. Most higher result that I get is pleasure maximization, which is 0.472. So the independent variable, which is pleasure maximization, show the significant factor associated with internet addiction among students during lockdown of COVID-19. Next is research recommendation. Firstly, a student can set a clear goal when using the internet to prevent it from addict. This is because with a clear goal, the student can know the time when they want use the internet. For example, only use when they want getting assignment done. By that, the student can plan another activity which is they can do, such as spending more time with family rather than spend their time on internet. Secondly, is parents play their role in preventing their children from become addict to the internet. There is the right time for parents to carry out their responsibility to curb internet addiction because their children are at home during the lockdown of COVID-19. So the parent can monitor the type of internet activity that their children do. Hence, they can set the parental guardian setting to avoid illegal site surfing by their children when they use the internet during lockdown. For example, installation of auto filter software. Next is research limitation. Firstly is online survey. In this study, I have do an online survey by giving the question to the student in UiTM Seremban 3. However, this online survey can be complete only by students who have access to the internet. For those who have not it, they cannot answer the question. Secondly is limitation is limited independent variable. This can be seen only when I have only used 3 independent variables that is being discussed to identify the most predicted to internet addiction among students during COVID-19 lockdown. There are many variables that can create internet addiction. For example, underlying mental health condition, genetic and environmental factor. Thirdly is time taken by the respondent. Usually, the respondent, which are the student, will quickly answer the survey question that I have been allocated to them via social media. But there are few of them who are taking a lot of time to answer it. This will cause the research to be slow to obtain the data provided in this study. Next is future suggestion. Firstly, is study about internet addiction with more depth in psychology, pathology. This is because this problem seem like a quick suitable in nowadays, especially to them who have an addict to internet. Possible they will have an issue of depression. Secondly, is use research method, which is combine qualitative and quantitative method in the study. Combining these two methods can help the researcher with problem understanding, produce more proof and more depth in investigator. This method will help the researcher in giving more convincing evidence. For conclusion, in Chapter 5 as the last chapter of the research explain more detail about discussion on the finding. Besides that is also explain about research limitation that faced by the researcher when do the research with the result of 3 independent variables, which is type of internet activity, pleasure maximization and personal trait. It show most determined predictor of internet addiction among the student during COVID-19 is pleasure maximization with the highest result of standard coefficient beta.